Back for more live boxing here in Birmingham, Alabama, here on FS1. Brian Kenny with Virgil Hunter, Abner Maris, Christine Leahy as well. Our Corona tale of the tape for Caleb Plant, 24 years old, 6'1", 168, 14-0. Thomas Awimbono is 35 years old, bit shorter. Again, his record 25, 6-1. He is out of Ghana, now living in the Bronx. Let's go to Ray Flores. Caleb Plant looking to close the show here in Birmingham against Thomas Awimbono. By the way, he must have lived in Brooklyn at one point, but don't worry, we got it right. He has moved to the Bronx, in case you were wondering. Hey, wait, he said the Bronx. We're underway. Plant undefeated out of Ashland City, Tennessee, near Nashville. Recently moved to Las Vegas to help further his career, get better sparring, get into the thick of things. And we'll see what he's got here in the super middleweight division.
He told us in the fighters meeting he did a lot of rounds with George Groves, and in his opinion, he won every single round. So that gave him confidence coming into this fight and letting him know that he's somewhere in the top SOH of the 168-pound division.
Virgil, aren't you not supposed to say that?
I was just thinking that.
Aren't you supposed to say, not you, but him? When he said that, I thought, nah, don't you want to say, I did very well? Like, isn't that the protocol, the etiquette?
He won every single round.
Well,
that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I know, but he's not supposed to say. Groves is sitting home going, hey, are you kidding me?
Message to George Groves. That's what he said.
Groves is there going, man, I was sparring, man. What do you want from me?
Well,
Plant letting the hands go. Again, his nickname is Sweet Hands, so you'd figure he lets the hands fly. Started as a kickboxer. When he was a kid, his dad, Richie Plant, was in his corner. Started him there, but he said, you know, I didn't choose boxing, it chose me. So he really just loved the boxing aspect of it. So got away from kickboxing, didn't do MMA, got into traditional boxing and prize fighting.
His dad, big influence in his life. He gave him credit for the person, the fighter he is today, by the way. And he was a really emotional fighter, fighters meeting. Just talking about the struggle, how hard he trains, how much he loves boxing. And he's showing it tonight. He's showing skills. He's showing really good footwork, great fundamentals, great feints there.
You know, Abner brings up the point. In order to be successful, you need to get to these tournaments, you need to get to the gym, you need support.
Yeah.
You're right, he was almost in tears saying, hey, look, my dad didn't have the money, you know, to go to Orlando, to go to Atlanta, to do these things. He said he made it happen, he willed it to happen. So his father, who's in his corner now, gets to see his son turn into a high-level pro.
Come on, let's go.
it's great to see sacrifice come to fruition.
Good body shot by Plant. The hands going down, goes Awimbono. Fast hands as well.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
Those are sweet hands.
Nice counter follow-up left hook.
Come on.
Again, it's those punches you don't see that, get you down.
Awimbono will try to survive this. Final seconds. Trying to stay on his feet. Escape something hard. And he does.
Welcome back to Legacy Arena. If you take a close look at Caleb Plant's trunks tonight, you'll see the word pumpkin, and also he has a tattoo on his left arm, and it is to honor his daughter, Aaliyah, who died, unfortunately, when she was just 19 months old from a rare medical condition. And he said that he thinks about her throughout all of the fights that he does, and he also made a promise to her that he would continue to remember her throughout the fights and win the bouts for him. He said that there is no plan B. If there's not boxing, that's it. So you can have all the belts, lay them next to his daughter Aaliyah, but she's a constant source of motivation for him. Brian, back to you.
And Christine, you're right. I mean, it was another emotional moment when he brought himself back, just thinking about his daughter, saying, look, anything I win just goes right to her and her memory. He's been through a lot already in his life.
Caleb shows a little bit of Floyd Mayweather in his stance and some of the punches that he delivers.
You think a little influence from the Mayweather gym? I'm sure he's happened by there in Vegas a few times.
Yeah, he said he's frequenting a lot of gyms, and I'm sure he's been by the Mayweather gym, where you're going to find a lot of good sparring, good competition.
And that's always good, right? I mean, to go to a place where you know you're going to find the great sparring. At the end of the day, that's where you get better, just in sparring, training, sparring the best, and
the atmosphere.
And the atmosphere, exactly. And like you mentioned, Coach, he sparred one of the best, out there, and he said he beat him.
Again, Awimbono comes in here. He's 25-6-1. He's 35 years old, so he's on the B side. But Plant has got to be able to show something and, use this, Virgil, as a level of progression fight.
Exactly. He needs to make the most of it on TV.
Yep.
And Awimbono does have experience. And the Ghanaian fighters are tough. They're strong.
Sweet hands plan, definitely letting those hands go. Doing a really good job. He's using the fighter at his will. You could definitely work with him. These are the type of styles that make you look good, and you could progress. You could do things that you practice in the gym, and I think Thomas is one of those fighters.
You're exactly right, champ, because that combination he threw to knock it down, you could tell he threw that combination on pads hundreds of times, thousands of times. It was just natural to him.
All right, Abner, and this is where we need you, because you're watching him here, and I like what you had to say earlier in the night. And you see, okay, this looks good. What is remaining? Like, what's the next step for Plant to get better? What does he need?
Well, I'm honestly seeing a good Plant. I'm liking his style. I'm liking the way he's using his reach, his jab, not staying in too close, thinking. So just fighters like this, practicing everything you practice at the gym, throwing it, putting it to work, it'll make you that much better.
So you like where he is? All right.
I like it.
There you go. Final seconds, and Caleb Plant letting the hands go, has a knockdown already in this fight. We're back at Birmingham in a moment. We return here in Birmingham, Alabama. Thomas Awimbono out of New York City by way of Ghana. Trying to put up an effort against Caleb Plant, who's here in a showcase fight on national TV. Brian Kenny, Virgil Hunter, Abner Maris, and Christine Leahy here on FS1. Plant, again, coming out of Ashland City. As he told us, look, we've already dealt with, John Jimeno, who's in impoverished circumstances in the Philippines. And Plant, as we take a look at the scorecard, according to you out there in the Throwdown scoring app, in both rounds to Plant. The first one, a 10-8 round, of course, with the knockdown. But Plant said, hey, look, it's not, Ashland City is, it's not so rough. He said, but there's a lot of addiction. He said, I have friends who ended up in jail, kids on meth and heroin. He said, look, and, his dad opened up a gym with money he didn't have, has put people in the gym and given them a purpose. And he said, I've got a purpose. I was able to escape. So he didn't make his upbringing out to be tougher than it had to be, but he had some rough moments, and there's some people around him in their circumstances, in their strata, that did not make it.
Well, his dad made sure he didn't succumb to the temptations where he lived, and drugs are abundant in the small town areas now, and he had something that he used to overcome the temptations of that. Now, the knockdown in the first round could have been a blessing and a curse, because I can Awimbono, he's looking for that now. He's looking for that left hook, so Plant needs to use his jab a little bit more and set up another angle of attack.
You know, we asked Awimbono's people, like, hey, what's his strength? And he says this drive and his hunger. You know, he has his own story. He's got a wife, 2 kids, teenagers, back in Ghana, you know, that he'd like to bring over. He's fighting here for a lot in his life as well.
Exactly.
So he's against a young kid, showcasing himself, but he fights back and throws back a sharp right hand.
And Awimbono is an awkward fighter, so Caleb has to use his jab just a little bit more to keep him honest and keep him in position to land his back shots coming off the jab.
Round 3 scheduled for 10 on another exciting night in Birmingham. Plant goes to work.
I like how Plant maintains his distance. You know, he throws good combinations. He doesn't get caught up, you know, in that moment where he just puts himself in a position where he's gonna, you know, get caught with something. No, he's in a great position. Good punches. I'm liking Plant right now as the way he's evolving every round, showing something different.
It's definitely a prospect heading to contender status.
Good feint, 1-2. Good distance, right hand.
I'd like to see him step over right there, Cam.
Gentlemen, 10 seconds.
Caleb Plant in control against Thomas Awimbono here in our final fight of the night. As we go back to the fight, Awimbono had some success early on. And then Plant firing back, and this is where Abner said, here's the distance. Right, had room, letting his hands go. Right, not smothering his own power.
Exactly, that's the word. He's not smothering his punches because he's maintaining a great distance where he could throw at will and connect.
I wonder what's going to happen here in the future. I was just talking about Birmingham, just a chance to talk about Deontay Wilder. He said he loves bringing some money into Alabama. This is not a fight town, but now this is his 3rd straight fight here. And Virgil, I didn't get an official count, but I'd imagine there's 10 to 12,000 people here tonight, earlier in the night, and he's routinely done that. You would expect at some point he's going to have to go over to Europe to fight some of these other top heavyweights, but he might have another fight here before then. It's possible, right? Or do you think he's got to go to Europe next?
Well, it's very possible and reasonable, depending on the outcome of Parker and depending on the outcome of Joshua and Klitschko. But I understand that Parker's a great big draw in New Zealand, and they pay a lot of money to get opponent over there to fight him.
And Wilder again went over to Europe, was actually opened up his training camp in England to fight Alexander Povetkin, and was getting on the plane to go to Russia. So he has no problems traveling.
That's
but
right.
He might have to do that because Klitschko or Joshua will have leverage. You know how this works. We'll have leverage in saying, hey, you want to fight me, you got to come here.
Exactly. And I don't think he minds coming there because if that's where the money is, follow the money.
And hopefully there's a lot of it.
I
think Wilder's exciting. Again, I'm big on Deontay Wilder. I used to see him, way back on the Friday Night Fights days when he was starting off and he was fighting nobody.
Right.
But it was smart. If he had started boxing when he was 19, even though he won a bronze medal in the Olympics, if you had matched him tough early on, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing now.
I agree with you. He started at 19, and he missed his formative years. Like Champ said, he started at 8. So there are things that you learn starting young that you'll never get starting old, and those are the reflexes and the senses and the ability to process. So, but thank goodness he has that power that could be the equalizer in any fight, and anybody who fights him has to be wary of that.
And here Caleb Plant is just steadily taking it to Awimbono. Starts off with a lead right hand. Good head work there by Awimbono, moved out of the way.
Awimbono is going basically in a survival mode and sneak punching mode. He's letting Plant punch. He'll block him and survive and then try to catch him on the way out. And the knockdown caused him to make that adjustment.
It's strange too, for some reason, like for the last 30 years, if you're 168 pounds and these guys are, if you want to fight a champ, you got to go to Europe. Remember that was like at 168, you had to go there. You know, until Roy Jones took over 168, then okay, he was the champ there, but it has been the traditional ground of the European fighter, that weight division. Caleb Plant, good work, comes in and now fires hard. With the success, follows up.
I think it's just a matter of time now for Plant.
Some harder thudding shots there by Plant. Fires in from close range in the final seconds. Caleb Plant in control, showing some good work. We're back in a minute. 24 years old, undefeated, looking to move up, getting this fight on FS1, being able to showcase his skills.
Come on.
There's kind of a natural calm to him, isn't there? Which is good if you're a fighter.
There he is. He has a lot of confidence in his ability. He's being moved right. He's seen a variety of different styles, and he's getting accustomed to it. And moving to Vegas has helped him tremendously to see other different types of styles and get the most competitive sparring he can possibly get.
You said something important there too, Virgil Hunter, is that right? There's an art to matchmaking. You don't want to go too hard. But you don't want to go too easy either.
That's right. Particularly when you have a prospect with potential to be a world champion, you want to move him along just right.
So he's 14-0 now. You know, anything can happen, but I see a 15-0 soon in a couple of minutes. But where will you put him in the next fight, Coach?
Well, I think he
Give
needs
him a
to
little
take
bit more
a step
test?
up.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Definitely needs to take a step up. It's coming. He's going to have to face that to prove that he can jump that hurdle to get to the finish line, where the belt lies.
I feel the same way. This kid definitely has the goods. He's a good fighter. He's showing good technique.
Exactly. If you keep him here too long, champ, he'll deteriorate.
Beautiful right now.
It was, and it was set up nice, just behind a 1-2 jab. Something very simple but effective.
He gets his body behind him too. There with another solid right.
I'd like to see him show a jab and then step in.
Let's go, Blake.
Awimbono's corner yelling for him. Again, we're in round 5. Want him to show a little more spunk here. That was a decent right hand that he just threw. So they're encouraged by that as they try to keep their man in this fight.
Well, Awimbono didn't show much respect for Caleb at the fighters meeting yesterday. He said he's hittable and he hasn't fought anybody. So I expected to see a little bit more aggression from him.
Yeah, well, he also said that, I know he likes to move. He said, but I know how to take him down. So I thought,
He did say
okay.
that, yes.
I was like, all right. Be interesting to see that. He hasn't figured that out as of yet, but again, yeah, he was not overly concerned about going in against a 14-0 kid.
He's showing a little bit more fight in this round. Maybe his coach got on him a little bit and let him know that, look, the only way you're going to win this fight is throw punches. So he's throwing more punches this round.
Would you maybe want to see a little bit more aggression from Plant? Or you think he's doing the perfect fight?
At this stage, he's fighting a good calculated fight, but I would like to see him step in a little more and see if he can finish the job.
10 seconds, gentlemen, 10 seconds. All right.
Caleb Plant doing the work. Continues on. Back to this fight, final fight of the night on FS1.
Doing great. Doing great.
You can see right there, everything is calm in the corner of Caleb Plant. Justin Gamber, his trainer. You can see his dad. That's Caleb's dad right behind him. Richie Plant, and with the glasses and the beard. So that's dad. But he has ceded the training duties to Justin Gamber, who is there and helps him in Las Vegas. In the other corner, did you fellas hear it? Kwame Isante gave it to Awimbono. Gave it to him.
He laid it on the line to him. I don't know exactly what he was saying in his language, but whatever he was saying, he was not happy.
Yeah, I believe. Is it now? If it's Ghana, is it Ga? I believe. If it was in Ga, I did not know. But thumping his hand, basically, you got to throw,
Yes.
you got to fight, right?
Yes.
You're going to make it happen now. He's speaking the international corner language. And you see Awimbono lets it fly a little bit.
The 6th round, I hope that Plant picks it up a little bit more, steps on the gas just enough to maybe get a stoppage or just to see another side of him. We've seen the poise, we've seen the relaxed fighter that he is. He's smart, but we got to see the explosive side too. TV likes to see that.
Exactly. The good thing about him, champ, is that he's learning how to box before he gets his boxing is getting better before he gets to the top level, which is crucial.
Yeah.
And you see, he is forced now to move a little bit. With Awimbono forcing the action a little bit, it's going to force Plant to do a little bit more. And I think Asante, his trainer, sweet hands lets it fly. I think we're saying, like, hey, don't get in sparring partner mentality now. We're not here just to do some work. Why don't you try to win?
Well, when he sees Awimbono in position like that and in position to throw and land, he has to be upset because Awimbono would just stand there and let Caleb counterpunch.
Work out there. Work out there. Work out there.
You know, this fight has gotten a little more interesting after the throwdown in the corner. The dressing down as Awimbono picks it up. Yeah, just a little more determined, moving forward, throws a good hook and follows up. Yeah, he's a little more inspired.
Another thing, champ, I think he might be ready to move up for his next fight because you can get stale when you know you have the edge. You have to be challenged.
Yes.
And you have to be in a position where you know you can lose. So I think he'll show who he really is when that moment comes.
Good action now. Again, Awimbono letting it fly with some body shots. Plant forced to answer.
If anybody has a chance to beat him, it's a fighter at this level. He's ready to take his game to another level.
And that's the only way he's going to grow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hear you, Virgil, and I think even in this case where it's like, all right, he's being forced to react to something a little more fierce, will make him better.
Yes,
because he
has a threat.
Last couple of rounds, he was in cruise control. Look, I'm just winning all these rounds.
It's a sparring match for him. But when he faces an opponent that he knows he can't make a mistake against and is just as good as him and bringing everything to the table like him, that's when you'll see his pedigree.
Sharp hooks, good head movement, and another hook from Caleb Plant. Good work, it goes to the body as well. And Awimbono continues to move in. And now he's got some fight. That's a good round. Caleb Plant had to up his game. You see a little...
He did. He threw some very nice combinations. He became much more aggressive as Awimbono became more aggressive, so he stepped his game up also to let him know, you're going to stay right where I want you.
Nice counter punch there, 3-piece.
Those punches blocked. But still, I'd rather be throwing them than catching them.
Yeah. Now that was a good adjustment right there to stick the jab to the gut. He should go to the body a little bit more because Awimbono has been defensive since the knockdown, although he picked up a little bit the last round.
It's a good point, Virgil, because he changed the rhythm a little bit, went to the body, and then was able to put that jab straight through the face.
Exactly.
So that shows that there's some boxing IQ in there. You've got to do things on the fly.
It's like a burglar going into your house. You check the windows, you check the basement, you check the door. Where's the entry?
Stop! Stop! Back it up. Come on.
Jeff Dodson, the referee, has pretty good control of this. Abner, you've probably been in there a lot of times where you didn't hear the ref. I don't think that's a problem with Dodson.
And a while ago, he did the little move you wanted, Coach. Caleb Plant, he did a little sidestep, and he went for the body. And those little sidesteps, open up things. And obviously, that body shot was there. If he keeps trying, I think he's going to be able to land a more crisp, more flush punch and try to take this guy out. There it is. Yeah.
And just be who he is. He's a boxer. is be who he is and not try to take him out purposely where you intend to. Just box and let it happen.
Just happen.
Plant didn't like the equation. Says, come on out. Virgil, why wouldn't he want to back him into the corner where you can pick your spots? Why would he walk back to the middle of the ring?
That move right
Maybe
there.
that's why.
Yeah, that
Okay.
move right there.
Perhaps Awimbono just answered that for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
I definitely would ask him as a trainer, why did you do that? I mean, was it frustration that you can't get the punches through when Awimbono is in the corner? To come out to the middle of the ring? That's a good question I'd have to ask him.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. And it's the way Awimbono just had that little flurry looked like Plant recognized. No, man. I know that's what you want. Moves in again.
Well, they don't want him to get up in Awimbono's firing zone. And so now we know why Plant is fighting the style that he's fighting, because his corner wants him to box.
Yeah.
And
the safe side,
the
I guess.
safe side, and keep his hands up and things, and not get caught with something stupid. They just want him to win the fight. If the knockout happens, it happens.
Well, it's a good read at this point in the fight,
It is.
right? It's like where he clearly.
It's a good call.
Justin Gamer saying there that, hey, clearly the only way you lose this fight if you get hit with something wild. So he likes that distance.
Exactly. And it's the 8th round, and he's been hit with some solid shots, and he hasn't gone anywhere yet. So you have to assume he takes a decent punch, and he's fighting a defensive fight. When a man has his mind made up, he's going to not let you knock him out. It's very difficult to do it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to Awimbono and how much, was it 2 rounds ago that he forced the action and made things happen, made Plant react. You see on people at home scoring up every single round going to Caleb Plant. Did he win that? Did he not win that one round where he forced the action? Was that round 6?
I believe it was a 5th, 6th. But I'd like to see Caleb Plant a little bit more aggressive, honestly. Take a chance, why not? I mean, he took his best shot already, he took it well. It's the 8th round. If anything, his power punch is not there anymore. There we go, take the risk. It's the 8th round. You got the fight in the bag.
That was a little low from Awimbono. Virgil, you must hear that a lot. And I'm sure you probably hear say, wait, no, man, I'm here to get the W. Or how often do you say, no, hey, I know you're winning. Why don't you try to do more? Like, how do you make that decision?
Well, each fighter has their own way of going about things, and each trainer has their way of going about things. A knockout can come from anywhere at any time, but the fighter has to fight to his strengths. And if his strengths are boxing, then that's what he has to stick with. Sometimes a champ here, he can fight a variety of ways. He can get aggressive with you and he can box you. But Caleb is not at that level yet. Maybe in a year or two, we'll see him be able to do more fighting and complement his boxing.
Well, answer, coach. Well, yeah, a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, me as a fighter, I react, just wanting to pressure this guy, maybe take him out. But then again, Plant is just a simple boxer. He's a great boxer, and he's maintaining to what he knows how to do. He's doing a great job doing it.
We just saw that as Plant does up the action there a little bit here in round 8 in the final 30 seconds. But Tukstut Nyambayar, again, we thought he was at a certain level. And then suddenly he just threw it into another gear and he looked terrific. And you're like, wait, where was that? Wait, you got that? Where was that? Just a little more force. Dodson telling Caleb Plant to keep him up. But again, if Awimbono gets frisky, then Plant's got to answer, which makes this a little more exciting.
The type of punches Awimbono throws, he can catch you with something out of nowhere.
Hey, now let me just ask you this, Virgil. If you're in Awimbono's corner and you've already gone to the well once, and he answered, he fought like hell that one round, like, can you keep going back to it, or just let this play out?
Well, I was simply telling the truth. You need a knockout to win. And it's very simple. You need a knockout to win. It just boils down to that.
And he has shown, like, if he can get Plant close to him, throw that,
that sneaky
hook,
punch
he throws a nice little hook uppercut combination where he's winging it straight from his body. You can see how squat his body is, but he can get some leverage on those shots. There's a possibility, unlikely, but that is his best chance.
Exactly.
Really really, really good fight. The only advice I could give Caleb Plant, I know he's going to watch this, obviously back home when he gets, and study it, is, maybe, try it a little bit. Take the chances, especially against a fighter as Awimbono who's giving him, the opportunity to work, to really let go and let go of his punches and practice in there. Go in there and do it, Step on the gas. It's already the 9th round. You ain't got nothing to lose. I'm sure he would not. I know it's boxing, anything can happen, but I could assure you he would not get caught with anything because he's smart. Good distance. Let go of a 3-4 punch. Use an angle. Another right hand. I don't know. That's
his defense.
Exactly, and trust him more. Have more confidence in himself that he could do more than what he's doing now. Not that he's doing anything wrong. He's doing perfectly. He's fighting just perfect, but I think he could do a little bit more.
I like it, Abner. You're an offensive trainer already. Let it go, man. Awimbono gets out of trouble. Well, Awimbono definitely is a little more on his bike right about now, backing up.
Unfortunately, he's not going to give him that chance tonight. He is not going to give him that knockout tonight. He's going to cover up every time Plant lets him go and move away, killing the clock. And show flashes. But I can understand what the champ is saying now, like right there when Awimbono attacked Plant, he was out of position to make him pay for that, and he was wide open.
And I think sometimes us as fighters, we fall into that plan. We fall into that game where we are feeling comfortable, we're winning the fight. Why? That's it. And I think in my last fight when I fought Cuellar, I knocked him out, and I think I could have taken him out, but I said to myself, no, you know what? And with those type of guys, I can't not take a risk because he was a puncher.
Yeah, at that level, exactly.
Plant with a little stumble there. I didn't see exactly what happened. He flipped forward. It's clear what Justin Gamber wants there, in that use the stick, easy work, be, what is that phrase, ultra aware?
Yes.
Be ultra aware, man.
Yes.
Get the win, man. Just box and beat this guy. Awimbono on the other side. Of course, he's a little gassed at this point. He's been beat up pretty good, but he's got one last gasp. Final round, and at home on the Throwdown scoring app, you have every single round going to Caleb Plant from Ashland City, Tennessee.
And the good thing, Caleb is following the instructions of his corner. They're not pushing him to go get a knockout or look for a knockout, so he's showing that he's a good pupil by following the instructions of his corner. They want to get the win.
To you, that's perfect. That's the type of student you want to get, Coach, right? The guy that
Well,
was
I don't know much about Awimbono. I haven't seen any footage on him, so I don't know. In his 27 wins, he has a good percentage of knockouts, so they might be a little leery of that. And I don't know what goes on in Caleb's situation in the gym, so they know more about him than me. But that's what they've been
Awimbono, by the way,
allured to all day, all night.
21 of 25 wins by knockout, so that's some power. It's a pretty good percentage. He has 6 losses and a draw as well, but again, in the wins,
right,
he's knocked people out.
He can knock you out.
I think tonight that the bar was set so high, between Izu, Ugano, and then even before where we saw John Hemino of the Philippines put up a great effort against Tukstat Nyambayar. And so we're waiting for Awimbono to do something heroic here. He's doing whatever he can. Hemino spoiled us. Hemino was unbelievable.
It's been a night of surprises. Tell you that much. But
even Jared Hurd behind on the cards, and then stopping Tony Harrison. Wilder just looking flat and bad, and then scorching Gerald Washington, knocking him out. I even thought about that as we were walking out here, and this is the final fight of the night. I was thinking Washington must just be dazed right now for a number of reasons. I mean, physically, but also wait a second, I had it all working. It was beautiful. I was outboxing that guy in his hometown. And then one right hand, it's over.
That's boxing.
Yeah.
It happens. But I get you. I mean, as a fighter, I definitely get home and be like, wow, I was doing enough to win the fight. And not that he got careless, it's just that one of those punches he just never saw.
Exactly.
It was a short right hand from Deontay Wilder, too. Plant gets Awimbono into the corner. in the final 30 seconds here of the 10th round. Let's see how he tries to close the show or finish the fight.
I think he's going to try to close like most of the fighters always do, like in the last seconds.
Stop.
Or maybe not.
Watch your head. Watch your head. Come on. 10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds.
It goes all 10.
They don't kill the clock. Yeah.
Taking the air out of the ball. Good work by Caleb Plant as he will stay undefeated. Final fight of the night. We will get the official decision in just a moment here in Birmingham, Alabama.
I guess they did give him that round.
Virgil, you have an eye for detail. I was thinking the same thing. Awimbono can say, hey, I took a round.
I took a round.
I deserved that.
Yes.
I think he deserved that one round.
Right.
But a good win by Caleb Plant.